Here is how you're going to find the values of a sine curve. Start by hitting the Generate button, and you will get a curve sketched out on your graph. Your job is to figure out the 4 different values for this graph. They would be the vertical shift, the phase shift, the amplitude, and also the periodicity factor. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a picture of this so we can work on it. And we're going to bring this into our app that we can write on. And let's get started. So my first suggestion would be find your lowest point. Ours is 17. Our highest point, ours is 41. And then figure out your midpoint for those. It looks like it's around 29. But to be sure, you'll take your lowest point, 17, add it to your highest point, and divide it in half. And yes, you get 29. So highest plus lowest divided by 2 gets you your average, and in this case, it's 29. That is the vertical shift. So when we're looking at our equation for a sine curve, the vertical shift is the D, and that's going to be 29. Again, that is the midpoint of our oscillation. That is what you should find first, because once you have that, you could then get your amplitude. Remember, your amplitude is from the center to the highest or from your center to the lowest point. So for us, it would be 41 minus 29 or 29 minus 17. Both of those will get you your amplitude. And for us, that's 12 centimeters. That goes in for the A. So 29 went in for D, 12 goes in for A. The C is the phase shift or horizontal shift, and since ours is a perfect sine curve, we're going to have a C value of 0. If it was a cosine curve, that is a pi over 2 shift. If it had been a negative sine curve, that is a pi shift. And if it was a negative cosine, that would be 3 pi over 2. Those are the only possible phase shifts that you're going to have with this program. Finally, the toughest part is figuring out this B value. So for one complete cycle, we always say BT equals 2 pi. So then all we have to do is figure out how much time it takes for one complete cycle. Hopefully you could see one complete sine curve ends right around the 1 second mark. So that was very lucky. Okay, so you'd put in 1 for your time. It normally won't be 1. And then you solve for B. Don't leave it in terms of pi, but actually work it out. So that would be 6.28. So our final equation would be y equals 12 sine 6.28 times x, or t in this case, plus 0 because we had no phase shift, plus 29, that was our vertical shift. So click on answers, type in those values, and hopefully you will have done everything correctly.